Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Shelley Peters. This is the place to embrace the plant-based life. Today, I want to talk to you about the How Not to Die cookbook. It's a cookbook I think you should have in your possession so you can cook some amazing and healthy recipes. What I want to do today is show you how to make both date paste and what the How Not to Die cookbook calls blended lemon. So let's get started. Okay, let's first of all, let's get into the cookbook a little bit. And I'm just going to point out a couple of really good recipes that are in here. On page 33 is lemony hummus. It's very good. One thing I will mention about this cookbook, it is a cookbook that is contains recipes that have no added oil, which is ultimately the way that you want to be eating for maximum health. There's a chickpea vegetable tagine, which I quite enjoy, on page 124. I keep tabs in all my cookbooks so I know where what's good and what has worked in the past. This is a really cool pilaf with carrots and chickpeas. It's a quinoa pilaf, and it's on page 149. Works well. Go ahead and try that one for sure. One of the fun things that I've made as an aside for dinners are these baked onion rings, and they were a really big hit. The baked onion rings are outstanding, and he also has a recipe for ranch dressing in here for you to give your guests so they can, and that's the ranch dressings on page 7. So the book is basically divided into sections, and it's really good. I would highly recommend that you get it. So let's get going. Let's start with making blended lemon. Now, he recommends blended lemon instead of just using straight lemon juice, because when you use blended lemon, you're actually blending whole lemons. So you're getting the fiber as well as the delicious flavor of a lemon. So essentially what I do every week is I take 2 organic lemons and I zest them with one of these zesters. And you can see I've already zested both lemons. And I'm going to use that lemon zest for all kinds of things. I'm going to put it in my oat bowls. I'm going to top my salad with it. Lemon zest is gorgeous. It perks up many dishes. Give it a try. And I love flavor. I'm not using really a lot of salt anymore, and I'm also, of course, not using any oil. So flavor is our friend, and we want to make sure that we are maximizing the flavor of every dish. And lemon zest is a perfect way to do it. You can do the same thing with lime zest and actually do blended lime. I love limes. Limes are huge for me. So after I zest the lemon, I then peel the pith off the lemon, the white outer part. One added note, when you zest your lemon, just get the outer yellow edges so that you're not getting any of the bitter white pith that's underneath. And it's really the bright yellow that you want. So you're gonna peel the lemons, which I've done. And then on my blend tech, I have a couple of different jars that go on top. And so I just put the entire peeled lemon. I've gotten rid of a few of the seeds that are in it. When I cut the lemons in half, I just look and see and get out whatever seeds I can. They're gonna end up getting blended up anyway, and they're fine to eat. So then all you do, it's so simple. Even if you don't have a high-speed blender, maybe you've got a Ninja, you can just pop that on your Ninja. And that's it. It's that easy. So we have the blended lemon, and I keep everything I make in mason jars. And I've got a gorgeous jar of blended lemon that I can add a teaspoon of that to my sparkling water to make some lemon water. Whenever you're making soups or stews or anything, at the very end when you're tasting and you're adjusting, adding a little bit of acid, be it apple cider vinegar or blended lemon, a squeeze of lime juice, can really bolster the flavor. So I recommend that you try that and get into a habit of doing that. So there it is. That's how simple it is. Blended lemon, done. And then of course I've got my lemon zest, and that's going to be fun. I'm going to play with that all week, and that will be gone by next week when I'm going to make them again. So let's move on to the date paste. I have already soaked 2 cups of dates in 2 cups of boiling water. You can soak them for as little time or as long as you need to. I typically do it for probably 30 minutes to an hour. I will get the dates pitted because I use medjool dates. They're the most flavorful and the softest, and I get them at the bulk barn. They're the best price there, and that's where I get them, and they have pits in them. So I will take out the pits for 1 cup of dates and use 1 cup of boiling water if that week I'm not needing a lot of date paste. This week I've got a couple of busy weeks ahead, so I'm going to make enough for 2 weeks, and I'm going to, it might even last longer, I'm not sure. So I've done 2 cups of pitted dates packed and 2 cups of boiling water, and it's been soaking for, gosh, it's at least 30 minutes while I was getting ready for this video. And you just add both the liquid and the dates to your blender. And again, I actually, when I was in PEI this summer, my cousin, and we didn't want to use the blender. So after the dates have been soaking for a while, you can literally just use a fork, especially if you like your dates a little bit chunky. We, in my family, we love dates. It reminds me of my mom's date squares. So, so chunky or pureed, either way it works well. Here's a little tip. In the How Not to Die cookbook, they actually add a teaspoon of blended lemon to their date paste. And I'll tell you, it does something really nice to the dates. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to go ahead and just put in what I think looks like about a teaspoon of blended lemon. Actually, I'm going to put a little more because I've got double the amount today. There we go. And it, again, in terms of balance of flavor, having sour and sweet combined together is going to work out beautifully. And again, same thing. Just pop it on your blender. If you don't have a high-speed blender, that's okay. You can just put it on whatever blender you have, or you can just use a fork. And you just blend it up. That's it. It's that fast. And you can see it's fairly thick. I'm going to use this here. It's fairly thick. You certainly don't want to waste any of it. Dates are expensive for sure, so it's not an inexpensive sugar, and you're going to treat it that way too. You're going to use modest amounts, and the flavor is simply incredible. So here's what it looks like, if you can see that. And I will pop that into this jar. In fact, it looks like I've got maybe more date paste than my jar will hold, but that's okay. I'll just do a second jar. And I think I've told you in the past that when I am making my oat bowls up, I put a dollop of date paste in each oat jar so that when I add my nut milk, usually it's oat milk every morning, everything is in the jar ready to go. It's literally a grab and go breakfast. So there we go. Yes, I have a little bit extra, so I'll get another jar after I finish up here. And that's it. And it's so delicious and so gorgeous and has so many uses. You know, add it to your oat bowl, add it to your smoothies, add it to your baking. It's a whole food sweetener. So it's got all the fiber, it's got tons of iron in it. It's just a really great way to get the sweetness that you're looking for in a healthier way. So that's it. So these 2, blended lemon and the date paste, are now done for me for the week. And again, I just want to recap the How Not to Die cookbook. There are 2 How Not to Die books. So when you're ordering on Amazon, just be careful. There is the How Not to Die sort of textbook, which is equally fantastic. And it is sort of a reference guide to whatever medical issues you happen to have. It will have recommendations for diet and exercise and what the research is showing us. The other one, of course, is the cookbook. So if you're looking for the cookbook, just double check you're getting, in fact, the cookbook. And here's the exciting news. Dr. Greger is releasing this December 2019, he is releasing How Not to Diet, talking about, he's going to just really dive deep into all the research around effective weight loss, what works, what doesn't, what's healthy, what isn't. Because of course, we always want to think about long-term health. You know, there's lots of things we can do to lose weight short-term that are not healthy long-term, and that's certainly not what we want to do. We want to think about what practices we're establishing every day, and that they are actually in support of long-term health as well. So thanks for joining me. If you want to subscribe to my channel, I would love it. I would appreciate it. And so go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. And if you want my newsletter that comes out every Monday morning, along with my video, my YouTube video, it's got some extra information that only sort of the insiders get. Then subscribe on my website at shelleypeters.com. If you're just starting your journey with plant-based eating, on my website I have 3 short videos right on the landing page to help you get started. So thanks again, and grab yourself this book. It's outstanding.